We're here for a good time, not a long time. We're outside. Water cooler, outside, at night, coming up next. Hello and welcome to the outdoor edition of the Water Cooler season opener. Here we had run through week. Now we're going officially live. We're out here at Cromwell Field getting pumped for a new season of Water Cooler. Thank you for joining us. Now, before we start to bring in the analysts and talk all about the USC-Texas game, we just have to acknowledge that this game was a lot closer than a lot of us were expecting. USC double-digit point favorites in this game. It came down to double overtime. Sam Darnold hitting Deontay Burnett, 25-yard touchdown reception on the first play of overtime, and then USC, of course, forcing critical fumble. USC ends up winning the game. Really, really exciting. But now we welcome in Oliver and Michael Luisi. Guys, a very exciting game, but as I mentioned, probably a little bit closer than we may have been expecting heading into this one, a rematch from the 2005 season, 2006 Rose Bowl game. Very famous, of course, in Austin, very infamous here at Troy. But the question now is maybe why was this game closer than we were thinking?
Man, I was having all these Vince Young flashbacks on fourth down because this team just could not stop when it came to the important moments of the game. All the big downs, the secondary for USC was just not up to par. The quarterbacks were having their way with them on the big turnover downs. There was just nothing they could do to stop them. That's why the game was so close. And you know, Texas was going into this game like, all right, if we can only win one more game this year, this has to be the one. So they showed up, and I don't think USC was prepared for the intensity they brought on defense.
I'm going to go off that and say that was Texas BCS Bowl. They gave everything they had versus us, and we fully underestimated them. We thought this was going to be an easy walk-by, we just destroy them, and they gave us everything they had. They should have almost won that game. We had a very good fourth quarter drive in which I thought we were going to Vince Young it, but at the same time, we came alive, went into OT, forced the fumble when we needed to at the most at the goal line, and turned around and kicked the field goal to win it. That was some walk-off beauty. That reminded me of the Rose Bowl, how beautiful that was. It may not be the same level, but at the same time, it had that level of pride, and it was really special.
Thought we were about to Vince Young it. Is there a hyphen in that power verb? My goodness. USC, though, maybe not the worst thing in the world that they had a game where they really struggled but found a way to kind of grind it out and win?
Well, they definitely had three of their tougher games coming up early in the season. You know, Stanford always plays us hard. Western Michigan, I thought a lot of people were underrating. They did go undefeated last year, except for the Cotton Bowl where they lost to Wisconsin, I believe. Yep. And then Texas, who, of course, they have everything on the line for this game. So, honestly, I think a lot of the tougher parts of the USC schedule is over. I think it's going to be a little bit more smooth sailing from here on out.
Ross Bowers and Cal up in Berkeley. Luisi, what do you think?
I think we're going to have to show a much better effort than we did versus Texas. Berkeley may not be the best team. At the same time, they're going to give us everything they have because, once again, it's a big rivalry. It's the weekender. Like, this happens all the time. You got to love it. It's going to be great. At the same time, you got to give it all. You can't be going into OT against Berkeley. Otherwise, we're going to drop even further.
We hear a lot about Ross Bowers. We hear a lot about Sam Darnold, but keep this in mind. Cal played Ole Miss this past weekend. Ole Miss did not score in the second half. Cal registered 5 sacks in the game. It's a sneaky good defense that the Golden Bears have. What does USC need to do offensively in this game to put the game to bed early?
You know, the run game was totally shut down by Texas. I think they need to kind of discover that spark they had in the last 2 games where they were just running all over Western Michigan and Stanford. The other thing I would advise is for Darnold to cut down on the interceptions a little bit because he threw 2 bad picks against Texas last game. So if he can keep his ball control a little bit better, I think it would. I think our offense is going to look a lot better.
O-line has to be better. I mean, you saw that Ole Miss gave up 5 sacks, and the O-line did not look good against UT at all. So at the same time, Darnold has to play better. He can't be throwing as many picks as he does. He's having way too many per game, but the O-line needs to give him more time so he doesn't have to make as aggressive throws. You need Jones and Carr to really set up the run game so you can open up play action. So if we're going to beat Berkeley, that's what it's going to come down to.
It's not all about the Heisman, but we like to talk about it. How's Sam looking in the Heisman race?
I think he's still a solid candidate. If anything, Lamar Jackson's collapse against Clemson boosted Darnold's stock a little bit. So I think Darnold's looking fine as a Heisman candidate. He's sitting behind right now. I would put Baker Mayfield and Josh Rosen are his 2 biggest competitors for that. prestigious trophy.
Baker Mayfield with the signature win at the shoe at Ohio State. What do you think, Luisi?
I think QBs always have a good shot at the Heisman, but on this team, I think it's Rojo. The guy has been straight out dominant. And you have Carr behind him still playing well, too. Like, this run game is something else. It reminds me of the good old Bush days where Rojo is just running down the field. So I would look for him over Darnold, especially as Darnold is throwing a lot of picks, even though he's playing relatively well.
I just walked past Rojo on my way here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Starstruck?
good vibes, a little bit.
Did he throw a little Heisman?
I was like, Rojo. Yeah, I did not throw him the Heisman.
Okay.
I did not. Got to play it cool in those
Yeah,
situations.
yeah.
But I walked past him with
No, he might get it.
it's a little fist bump. It was like, hey, there's Rojo. No big deal. He lives near me. It's cool. Rojo, Sam Darnold, the guy, though, that we got to talk about. Diminutive, but maybe the best route runner in the country, Deontay Burnett, continues to emerge as one of the superstars of college football. Not only does he run the crisp, precise routes, but he seems to have this telepathy with Sam Darnold. I can't think the last time in college football we've witnessed this kind of quarterback-wide receiver rapport.
Yeah, it was just beautiful. They were on the same page for pretty much the whole game against Texas, and that score at the end, he scores, he runs over, shakes Matt Leinart's hand.
So cool.
Absolutely beautiful, really. It's the only way to describe it.
That's chemistry that takes years to build, and they just developed it instantly. I mean, you thought that Juju and Darnold were going to have something special, with Juju being the talented receiver he had, and that never fully emerged, but this is something really special, and it takes a while to be that great a route run at the same time be on the same pitch as your quarterback, because they have little tendencies that you want, like a back shoulder throw, like where they want the ball. So the fact that they're on the same page is truly an amazing feature for the USC offense.
No question about it. Juju, speaking of which, looked pretty good with that touchdown dance this past weekend. And you guys are looking pretty fresh with these tie clips. We're also going to welcome on Keith DeMolder here to talk about the Texas game. A little recapping the secondary. Keith, what'd you see?
Well, I mean, clearly a lot of busted coverages, and I think, there's some injuries, especially in the linebacking core, that could be to blame for that. But looking at Jack Jones, so he had a pick during the game, but Colin Johnson, the big wide receiver, 6'6", 220, the sophomore, he's had unbelievable experience thus far for Texas. He went for 190 yards off of 7 receptions, and USC just did not have an answer for him, and really shows a weakness that some of these shorter corners, we don't have a big corner. And so when you have a guy that's 6'6", that's really, our dark, the piece that we got to look out for. And so I think what we have to do, next game, if there is a big receiver out there, that we just got to put, double coverage on him, or, have that safety come over top. Chris Hawkins, ball hawk for sure, but he can also hit very well. So, Jack Jones, he needs to make sure to press at the line, make sure to keep those guys, going to the outside, not trying to get these inside routes where they have that size advantage.
No question about it. Colin Johnson, whose dad played for the Rams, believe it or not. A little Coliseum connection there. But you mentioned the secondary, and one of the guys I want to hit on is Marvell Tell. His development has been really cool to witness this year. And he had another fine game this past Saturday.
Yeah, so Josh, as much as Marvell Tell, he had a great performance, the secondary really has to work better as a unit. Make sure to communicate. There were some blown assignments, so make sure to come over the top to help if you lose a guy.
No tie clip, but we'll take it. Demo time.
So it's clear that this secondary is really missing the presence of Adoree Jackson. So I'm Jack Jones. He's relatively, maybe a little bit taller than me.
Right.
You're a big receiver. How do I play better for next week, hoping that I don't get beat as much on the third downs?
All right, so here's the key. So I'm a big receiver. We're doing a little demo here, folks. So if you're Jack Jones, so what I'm going to do as a receiver, I'm big. I have the size advantage over you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get past you. So it's either, they call it the swim technique, folks. So what they're going to do is just, receiver's going to get the,
That's a clean beat right there.
elbow over the shoulder and swim over this way so they beat him on the inside. So if you're Jack Jones, here's what you got to do. Technique, it's everything. So you're going to make sure to put your hands up right at the line.
Gotta
so you're going to
press
press them right at the line.
There you go.
Make sure his timing is off. That said, say if I do go this way, boom, you have the hands up here, but say I put up, the grip and rip. And so what you're going to then do, you have to move the hips. Make sure that you match a beat with me.
Yeah.
So that's the key. So Jack Jones, you got to move over your hips and make sure to keep everybody in front of you.
You also have to be a step ahead. You cannot let him beat you. Short passes aren't the worst thing in the world, but if he beats you in the long bomb, that's going to be a backbreaker for the team.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Darrell Revis, you saw him throughout the league. Wasn't maybe the fastest or the biggest, but his technique was right on point.
Man, hip game like no other.
And, Shakira says, hips don't lie. Revis, hopefully his hips don't lie. Hopefully Jack Jones' hips don't lie this weekend.
Yeah. More water cooler coming up next. 8.1, 8.1. Hey, Los Angeles, what do you say? Water coolers on 8.1. Let them talk, let them hate. Watch the link and navigate. If they touch
Josh.
them, wipe them.
Josh, we're live.
I don't believe you. If they touch them, wipe them off. Fingerprints, they take them off. Water cooler. Who is the frattiest QB?
I mean, it's obviously Matt Stafford. Have you ever seen anyone play in the NFL with a beer gut? The answer is obvious.
It's Peyton Manning.
How is it Peyton Manning?
It's Peyton Manning because
First of all,
Peyton
he's
Manning looks
already-
like a
he's
40-year-old
already
dude that
retired.
comes back
He
to your
looks like the
tailgates
dip
and
guru
hands
you
all the
cut on the
18-year-old
second day.
girls a
It
beer.
cannot
No,
be
he's
Peyton
hanging
Manning.
out like he's there
Absolutely
all
not.
the time for
First
no
of
reason,
all-
not even on
First
alumni
of all, he
weekends.
doesn't have
Peyton Manning,
appreciation for good alcohol.
Peyton
You cannot
Manning's
be the first
balding.
guy
How
to
many
appreciate
frat guys
good
that you
alcohol.
know that
It's
aren't
just not a
balding?
possibility.
Save some talk for the show. The Water Cooler, Fridays at 2:30, right here on Trojan Vision.
We get it. You watch sports. You get mad. You get heated. Brand new water cooler segment, Mad Mike.
Give me that. So, the Giants, 0-2. They were supposed to be playoff contenders, not Super Bowl contenders, to beat the Patriots once again. And they're 0-2. Odell doesn't play first game, throws a Twitter fit about it. Are you kidding me? If you're going to throw a Twitter fit about it and play first game, you better show up the second game, and he gets 50 yards? That's a joke. Also, Brandon Marshall, what are you doing? You're averaging 1 catch a game. You are a 6-time Pro Bowl receiver. You mean to tell me you can only drop a ball and not catch a ball? You're what, 3 for 7, if even that? That's a joke. That is a joke. Also, Ben McAdoo, before you call out Eli for his terrible QB play, maybe fix the playbook. You've got Odell, Sterling, Evan Ingram, and Brandon Marshall. What are you doing? You got 4 of the most talented receivers in the NFL, and you can barely muster 3 points the first game, and under 20 points the second game? You might actually be worse than the New York Jets, and they're tanking for Darnold. And you're not tanking. You're supposed to be in the playoffs. Look at me, McAdoo. First bad decision was that haircut. Second bad decision is your play calling. Fix this. This needs to end. This is a joke. I'm not even a Giants fan, and I'm pissed off.
Kendrick Reed here with Luis Vidari, 2 of the best NBA analysts in the water cooler.
Absolutely.
A lot of hectic things, a lot of crazy trades that have happened the past year for basketball. What do you personally think of the Cleveland Celtics trade? Who do you think got the better end of the deal?
Well, essentially it boiled down to Kyrie Irving going from the Cavaliers in exchange for Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, next year's first-round Nets pick, which is likely to be high, and then a Croatian forward who...
Whoa, you got to get the name right, man.
Ante Zizic.
Zizic.
Won't be a big factor in the deal, but essentially I think the Cavaliers are really looking to build for the future with that first overall pick. The status of Isaiah Thomas is really up in the air with the hip injury. No one really knows if he's going to come back. Jay Crowder gives them some depth beyond LeBron James at the forward position.
You think Cleveland got the better end?
I think the trade really worked out for both teams. In my opinion, the team that gets a superstar always wins the trade because Kyrie Irving is a 25-year-old, played in the NBA 6 years. He's averaging 26, 5, and 3, only getting better every year. I think he really carried, LeBron, he's LeBron, but he carried that Cavs team. The only win they got in the finals, Kyrie dropped 40.
So Boston got the better end? Or
Boston got the
by
better
far?
end, but it makes sense for the Cavs.
It makes sense?
It makes sense
so
for
who are
the
you
Cavs.
rooting for? You're not being clear.
All right. I'm a Celtics fan. There's no doubt about that.
Okay.
Any of the viewers out there watching the show know that. But IT with the hip injury, the Cavs don't have any depth at point guard now. They have Derrick Rose, who's a piece of glass at best. They have he's injury prone.
Okay.
They have a couple other guards that will come in and out injury wise, but I think the Celtics have a star player who's top 10 player in the NBA, hands down.
Okay.
And they're really building for the future with Tatum, Brown at the forward position. They have 3 pretty solid big men. They're solid at the guard position now with Kyrie, Marcus
All right,
Smart.
let me break it down. Let me give you the specifics, man. Last season, 2017 stats, Kyrie averaged 25 points per game.
Okay.
Isaiah Thomas surprisingly averaged 29 points per game. And obviously, stats is not everything. I don't think just because you have better statistics, you're a better player.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of intangibles that you got to take account of. So stats, you just can't judge it solely on stats. But overall, Kyrie's a better defender. He's much bigger. He has finals experience, and he's a better ball handler.
I think Kyrie fits in much better with the Celtics than he did with the Cavs.
But the Celtics system is more of a team-oriented ball. Kyrie's more of a one-on-one
Right.
ISO. He'll give you 40 points, but Will you take it to the finals? No, that was LeBron. LeBron was the facilitator. He did everything.
LeBron was the facilitator, but Kyrie hated playing second fiddle. The guy is one of the most unbelievable players in the NBA. Anyone who watches him will say that. And you're talking, LeBron pretty much said out loud like that he's the leader of the team. He was the one. He needed more support. He needed more playmakers. When really Kyrie Irving is one of the greatest playmakers in the NBA.
I think Cleveland got the better end of the deal. I think they'll go to the finals again. LeBron, you don't think so?
Oh,
hey, look
no
at the past history. LeBron, finals 8 times in a row. Scrub team, good team, doesn't matter. He'll go to the finals.
The Celtics now have a complete starting 5 with bench depth. I don't think the Cavs can take them, especially now with the point guard position as weak as it is with Isaiah injured. I don't think they have the depth or even the starting lineup to compete with the Celtics.
All right, I guess we don't know yet. We got to wait and see. Till next semester.
It's going to be a good season. The Celtics play the Cavs on opening night, so that is going to be quite the matchup to watch for. We're looking forward to it.
8.1, 8.1. Hey, Los Angeles, what do you say? Water coolers on 8.1. Let them talk, let them hate. Watch the link and navigate. If they touch and wipe them.
Josh, we're live.
I don't believe you. They touch and wipe them off. Fingerprints, they take them off. Water cooler. Who is the frattiest QB?
I mean, it's obviously Matt Stafford. Have you ever seen anyone play in the NFL with a beer gut? The answer is obvious.
It's Peyton Manning.
How is it Peyton Manning?
It's Peyton Manning because
First of all,
Peyton
he's
Manning looks
already-
like a
he's
40-year-old
already
dude that
retired.
comes back
He
to your
looks like the
tailgates
dip
and
goober
hands
you
all the
cut on the
18-year-old
second day.
girls a
It
beer.
cannot
No,
be
he's
Peyton
hanging
Manning.
out like he's there
Absolutely
all
not.
the time for
First
no
of
reason,
all-
not even on alumni
First of all, he
weekend.
doesn't have
Peyton Manning,
appreciation for good alcohol.
Peyton
You cannot
Manning's
be the first
balding.
guy
How
to
many
appreciate
frat guys
good
that you
alcohol.
know that
It's
aren't
just not a
balding?
possibility.
Save some talk for the show. The Water Cooler, Fridays at 2:30, right here on Trojan Vision.
The times were unofficial, the measurements were highly scandalous, but the performances were jaw-dropping. The Cooler Combine, something to truly behold.
You're ahead of the line. We're here today at the Water Cooler Combine. Filmed on the streets of South Central Los Angeles, this combine will show off the best of the worst, our hosts and producers pushing their bodies to the limit. We start with a 40-yard dash. Josh Cohen had a strong showing right off the bat, running a 4.75 on his second attempt. Michael Luisi put in a good effort, but his muscular hockey thighs and his flat bill hat added valuable seconds to his time. Grace Marlowe warned us that her right foot turns out when she runs, but man, it looked way weirder on video than we ever imagined, so thank you for that. Next up was the cone drill. Chris Lopez showed surprising agility in his run. Don't let those dad shoes fool you, this man has moves. Jess Green, she tried her hardest. She really did. Shout out to you, Jess. The effort is there. But again, the runaway winner was Josh Cohen. He channeled his inner Jameis Winston and swept the heat. I said he's strong then. Finally, the broad jump. Chris flew through the air like a puma attacking a gazelle, even though those two animals live in completely different biomes. John Marcus, despite a terrible starting stance, did terribly. There was no surprise there. I mean, what'd you expect? You started like 4 inches back, man. How about Jess? Once again, she really gave it her all. But did you see that handstand at the beginning of the video? That was pretty wild. So, congrats to Josh for being the overall winner of the Cooler Combine. We project him at #1 draft pick by Sports Scene this fall.
Who is the frattiest QB?
I mean, it's obviously Matt Stafford. Have you ever seen anyone play in the NFL with a beer gut? The answer is obvious.
It's Peyton Manning.
How is it Peyton Manning?
It's Peyton Manning because
First of all,
Peyton
he's
Manning looks like
already-
a
he's
40-year-old
already
dude that
retired.
comes
He
back to your
looks like the
tailgate
dip
and
guru
hands
you
all the
cut on the
18-year-old
second day.
girls a
It
beer.
cannot
No,
be
he's
Peyton
hanging
Manning.
out like he's there
Absolutely
all
not.
the time for
First
no
of
reason,
all-
not even on alumni
First of all,
weekend.
he doesn't have
Peyton Manning,
appreciation for good alcohol.
Peyton
You cannot
Manning's
be the first
balding.
guy
How
with
many frat
appreciation
guys
for
that you know
alcohol.
that
It's
aren't
just not
balding?
a possibility.
Save some talk for the show. The Water Cooler, Fridays at 2:30, right here on Trojan Vision.
Hi, I'm Lauren Marola.
And I'm Josh Lozier, coming at you from the Water Cooler. Lauren, I wanted to talk to you today about women's beach volleyball because they are a phenomenal team that we have here at USC, and they had a phenomenal last season, but I don't think many people know about them.
That's so true. They've won the last 3 national championships here on campus, and I don't think they generate as much spirit from the Trojan community that they deserve.
They definitely should, though, especially with senior Kelly Clace, who, as I believe, is teammates with Sarah Hughes. Do you know the drama Sarah Hughes had this summer?
Yeah, so she was approached by Kerry Walsh Jennings, to be her Olympic partner, but turned her down because she wanted to play with USC senior Kelly Clace.
Do you think it was worth it for Sarah Hughes to turn down Kerry Walsh Jennings?
I definitely think so. I think playing together all throughout college, they've definitely developed some sort of connection there, and they know each other well on the court and off the court, so I think it was a good move.
I hope so. They had a 38-1 season in spring of 2017. How do you think they'll stack up this spring?
I think we've always had a strong program, and we haven't lost many players since last year, so I think so far so good.
Well, you asked for it. You got it. It's the Fantasy Football Update. We are continuing fantasy segments in 2017-2018 water cooler season, and we are pumped about it. Now, you may be familiar. If you're not in the league, it's no big deal. It's just a big party. The Cone's in there, Darian's in there, and then we got, Oliver, Luisi, myself, not doing so great. Guys, what's going on right now? What do the viewers need to know about our fantasy league and who's dominating?
I think Luisi's got something to say.
You and I played each other this week, no?
We're keeping this objective.
Did we?
What do they need to know?
They need to know that I defeated you in sweet victory. A victory so sweet, it's like a sprinkles cupcake, which I want to take a bite of right in front of Josh.
Sorry, cupcakes are for closers. It's not for you, man. I mean, not that I closed either, because my team had an utter demolition after my dominant Week 1 performance. I think I put up about half as many points as I did, so it was not exactly encouraging. But I got a big matchup next week. John Marcus, me and him, should go down to the wire.
Mr. Producer himself.
Oh,
This
yeah.
should be good.
Now in athletics, it's always the next game, the next step. I want to look back. Your Week 1 performance was one of the greatest comebacks in fantasy performances maybe ever on the web.
Thank you. I'm very proud of my guys that came out. They executed strong, and I was thinking some of that momentum would carry over, but didn't really work out that way. I lost pretty badly to Eduardo, but hopefully things will turn around.
Eduardo in the league, Grace also in the league, got a lot of people in this league. It is competitive, it is heated. I think we're feeling good about our squads, maybe with the exception of me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little scared. Grace had a big week last week, and I play her this week. And this is the first time I'm not projected to lead the league in points. So I'm a little scared, but at the same time, I know my guys. I know how to talk them up. They'll close. I've got a cupcake. Cupcakes are for closers. It'll be fine.
Cupcakes are for closers. There you have it. Unbelievable. A closer with a cupcake, a man who wins even when he's going against Kareem Hunt, breaking all kinds of rookie records, and 0-2 for like the 10th straight year. Time for final memos. As promised, memos finales. We start out with a Kansas City Chiefs cheerleader who was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Gets absolutely decked by a cameraman. Oh, you hate to see this. You just, you hate to see it.
Running around with that big camera, you can knock someone over.
That's just so painful. Like, I want to laugh, but it just hurts. It's gonna hurt so much. I'm gonna go with the sympathy on this, but I feel very bad for her. That's just, God, I can only imagine.
It's not good. We've seen it before, though. Minnesota Vikings exiting the tunnel pregame. You guys remember that?
Yeah, absolutely. You gotta keep your eyes open, man, when you're on that
Do you
field.
remember
anything
that
can
one
happen.
where I think it was the Cowboys where they had the pad get dropped on the go-kart right there, and the guy was really holding up the side there, and they had to have someone jump on and stop it.
Yeah, that
Man,
was a mess.
who's watching these carts? Like, come on.
This needs to end. This is getting hazardous out there.
It's getting out of control.
Getting out of control.
Joe needs to find them.
It is getting out of control. Also getting out of control, the Hail Marys in college football. I didn't think we could top what we saw last year when Tennessee beat Georgia. Funny how college football works. Florida beating Tennessee on a Hail Mary, and Franks with maybe the long bomb of the year. Take a look and a listen.
In trouble in the backfield, wants to throw now, and he's going to go deep. And I mean deep, and I mean touchdown, Florida! Tyree Cleveland in a miracle finish. A Hail Mary that's full of grace for the Gators. Here it is again.
The ball went 65-plus yards in the air and perfectly thrown. Mika Abernathy.
I mean,
what an amazing ending to such a boring, sloggy game. Seriously, that was like one of the worst SEC games I think I've ever seen, but the ending completely made up for it.
That was beautiful. That was like picture perfect bread in the basket right there. Pretty throw, great route, beats the coverage, touchdown, game over. It doesn't get any better than that for a little walk-off right there.
place was going bananas.
I bet.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. And our final memo is one of SC's finest, Juju Smith-Schuster, scoring a touchdown and a little dance.
Yeah, great touchdown celebration. I loved it. You got to love the new energy these guys have now that they changed the rules a little bit. Let the players, have a little fun on the field after they score. It's great. I love it.
Luigi, this is good stuff right here.
Oh, 100%. Like gambling. Who doesn't love gambling? In football, there's already get a lot of gambling already. It's perfect. Juju, he's ahead of the game.
We're making all the connections here. Let me see your best touchdown dance.
Touchdown, I'm more of a hockey goal celebration, but I'll give it to you right here. You hit him with a little windmill, drag it up, and you look sly. You get the eyes.
Yeah,
you get all the attention. You got the goal horn going. It's great.
Yeah. Are you just one windmill or are you multiple?
I'm one. I got to keep it. Got to be modest. It's only one.
Yeah, you gotta
hat trick maybe. Hat trick. We'll talk. Yeah, maybe like three of them. Yeah,
one for
like
every
one rotation. Like it's like the Mayan calendar right here.
Yeah, there you go. All right, here's mine. So I catch the ball, run to the end zone, I bust out this little magic trick right here. You got the circles. Whoa! Nobody can explain it. It's magic.
Kid just walked by, has no idea what he just witnessed. We're seeing the magic, though. Unbelievable. I'm keeping it simple. I'm just going with a little Tevin Coleman. I don't know what he's doing. It looks great. It looks great. Getting into the end zone for one of my fantasy teams. Still 0-2. Guys. It's a movement. It's an absolute movement.
Giants were 0-2 before they won the 2007 Super Bowl. So, fantasy bowl, Josh Cohen, am I onto something?
2001 Patriots 0-2 to start the season. Won the Super Bowl.
I'm leaving. I'm not talking about this.
Well, guys, this has been fun. We're here for a good time.
Not a long time.
We're outside.
The water cooler is officially back. 8.1. 8.1. Hey, Los Angeles, what do you say? Water cooler's on 8.1. Let them talk, let them hate. Watch the link and navigate. If they touch
Josh.
and wipe them.
Josh, we're live.
I don't believe you. If they touch them, wipe them off. Fingerprints, they take them off. Water cooler. Who is the frattiest QB?
I mean, it's obviously Matt Stafford. Have you ever seen anyone play in the NFL with a beer gut? The answer is obvious.
It's Peyton Manning.
How is it Peyton Manning?
It's Peyton Manning because
Well,
Peyton
he's
Manning looks
already-
like a
he's
40-year-old dude
retired.
that comes back
He
to your
looks like the
tailgates
dip
and
goober
hands
you
all the
cut on the
18-year-old
second day.
girls a
It
beer.
cannot
No,
be
he's
Peyton
hanging
Manning.
out like he's there
Absolutely
all
not.
the time for
First
no
of
reason,
all-
not even on alumni
First of all, he
weekend.
doesn't have the
Peyton Manning,
appreciation for good alcohol.
Peyton
you cannot
Manning's
be the first
balding.
guy
How
to
many
appreciate
frat guys
good
that you
alcohol.
know that
it's
aren't
just not
balding?
a possibility.
Save some talk for the show. The Water Cooler, Fridays at 2:30, right here on Trojan Vision.